You have likely seen it, a student with incredible intellectual gifts who somehow routinely makes a mess of their practical assignments. Raw intellectual horsepower often stalls because conventional intelligence doesn't account for practical barriers. Today, we are building a customized intervention plan targeting the four most destructive stumbling blocks: lack of motivation, lack of impulse control, lack of perseverance, and using the wrong abilities. To start, grab a piece of paper, divide it into 4 equal quadrants, and write your specific teaching subject right at the top. By shifting our focus from measuring intellect to removing these practical barriers, we enable the student to finally use the gifts they already possess. Step 1 goes in your top left quadrant, lack of motivation. In most environments, motivation accounts for as much as intellectual skill. This variation in drive explains why students with identical abilities often achieve completely different levels of success. We have to distinguish between external motivation, like gold stars or stickers, which are transient, and internal motivation. We want to cultivate what researchers call a rage for mastery, an intrinsic love for the work itself. In this first quadrant, write down 5 activities that spark a student's personal interest in the material. These should be tasks where the satisfaction of solving the problem outweighs the value of the grade. If you teach language arts, you might challenge students to try an entirely new brainstorming method to break through writer's block. If you teach art, you could have students research and report on a working artist they personally admire. Take a moment to outline your 5 activities. Generating this internal motivation equips your students to maintain their drive and keep working hard long after the safety net of classroom rewards disappears. Move to the top right quadrant, lack of impulse control. We frequently see capable students undermine their own excellent work because they jump to the first solution without reflecting on it. Teachers often inadvertently reward this exact impulsivity. Every time you praise speed over accuracy or always call on the first hand raised, you reinforce a rushed process. In Quadrant 2, list 5 subject-specific classroom policies you can implement to actively force your students to pause, reflect, and regulate their immediate responses. A math policy might require students to explicitly review their final calculations for nonsensical answers before they are allowed to submit them. A social studies policy might mandate that students submit a structural outline before writing a single paragraph of an essay. Map out your 5 policies. Enforcing impulse control is not about needlessly slowing your students down. It ensures they bring their full intellectual resources to bear on a problem before they act. Now, the bottom left quadrant addresses a dual threat. Some students give up at the smallest frustration. Others do the exact opposite. They continue to work on a problem long after they should have quit. This second behavior is called perseveration. It is the inability to abandon a fruitless strategy, resulting in students repeating the exact same failing process over and over. In this quadrant, brainstorm 5 activities that explicitly teach your students how to weigh when to push through difficulty versus when it is smarter to start over. You might help science students identify exactly when an experiment is doomed by the limitations of available resources. Or teach music students how to recognize when a piece is currently beyond their technique, so they can shelve it and return when they are more advanced. List your 5 strategies here. Practical thinking requires realistically assessing a path's viability. Knowing when to fold is just as important as knowing when to hold. Finally, the bottom right quadrant, using the wrong abilities. Many students fail not because they lack talent, but because they are applying it in the wrong environment. Consider Michael Jordan's temporary switch to baseball. He possessed elite athletic talent, but he quickly discovered that his specific physical abilities simply did not map to the demands of a baseball diamond. He had to return to the basketball court to succeed. This illustrates person-environment fit. There is no absolute standard for what constitutes excellent work. It depends entirely on matching the person to the right setting. For your final quadrant, list 5 choices or policies you can implement that allow your students to match their assignments to their natural strengths. You could give foreign language students the option of an oral exam instead of a written one, or allow art students to choose their own medium for a project. Complete this last set of 5. By engineering options for person-environment fit, you prevent brilliant students from failing at poorly matched tasks. Take a look at your page. You now possess a concrete 20-point intervention plan, entirely customized to the specific needs of your classroom. A teacher's impact reaches past the presentation of material. It involves training students to navigate the obstacles that consistently stall out raw talent. Do not let the list of 20 items overwhelm you. Pick just one activity from your quadrants and deploy it in tomorrow's lesson. The moment you witness a student finally bypass a block that has been holding them back, you will see the undeniable value of teaching for practical intelligence.